You know, the government shut down for how many hours?
How many
60
hours
something?
Yeah, I don't know. It was over the weekend, an extra day or two.
You know why they shut down? Because Bernie Sanders had this to say about the Milwaukee Bucks.
Ran no offense.
Also ran no defense.
You know what they could have used?
Oh my God, you brought it in. Oh, how self-loathing are you, my friend?
It's that throwback. It's that Jackson 30.
Lamphere?
We're gonna put that out there. It's a hardwood classic.
Yeah, leave it there. So when this coffee goes through, I got some TP. All right, so Jason Kidd was fired. Here's what he told Ramona Shelburne. I enjoyed my time in Milwaukee. There's no regrets. We took an organization that was in a bad place and shined a light on it. Held on, my friend. They're still young and running their race. Giannis is young and running his new race as one of the best players in the world. And then they continued. Kidd, he, as in Giannis, called me and said, Coach, this isn't right, what they're about to do, but they're gonna let you go. Kidd says he told Giannis that I had a feeling that was gonna take place. Kidd said Giannis replied, what can I do? I'll call the owners, I'll call my agent. Kidd said he told him there's nothing you can do. All you can do is tell the truth. That's it.
What is the truth?
It's a great question. What do you think the truth is? I have no answer.
The question was strictly because I'm like, I wonder what the truth is. So that
Paul Pierce.
That what he was, yeah, that's definitely one. That is an answer.
Yeah.
Iverson. So we can keep going with this all day.
We can if you want.
No.
Okay.
So the truth here is that there's whatever rumblings are happening or whatever the problem is that ran Jason Kidd out of town, he's like it's someone else. Who though? I mean, what truth is what truth does Antetokounmpo know that Kidd knows that no one else does?
Bro,
Tell the truth to who?
Idea.
I don't know. But here's the thing. This is what was said at least during when I heard how he got fired yesterday. There was other analysts that said he was a former coach. Every NBA coach except for like the top two. You know that there's a day coming. When you get hired, you're gonna get fired. Yep. And even Phil Jackson did in a way. You know?
Yeah.
Greg Popovich isn't worried about that. You know, so there's only those type of guys, Hall of Fame coaches that aren't gonna be worried about it that much. But I mean, it sounds like that's the way Jason Kidd took it. He's like, yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it, is what happens.
I agree. I agree completely.
Yeah, it was such a good take on it. Because at first I was like, I don't know what Jason Kidd is doing directly to this team that seemingly is destroying it.
Let me break it down for you. So here is what Jason Kidd inherited when he talks about inheriting a team that wasn't that great. So he was hired in the 2014-2015 season where they went 41-41. I give him props. Huge turnaround from 15 and 67. They also drafted some guy named Giannis Antetokounmpo. So then they went 33 and 49. They regressed. They didn't make the playoffs, and then they went back to the playoffs again. They got bounced in the first round after going 42 and 40, and now they're 24 and 22. It hasn't been good. Another part is, as Ryan Russillo tweeted, when Adrian Wojnarowski said that the Milwaukee Bucks fired Jason Kidd, Ryan Russillo tweeted, not sure how much his relationship with Jabari Parker factored in, but was told they weren't speaking. I trust Ryan Russillo's sources very, very much. And then here's the other part. Since, since December 15th, they haven't been good. They've been less than a 500 ball club, losing to teams and getting blown out by the Miami Heat, by the Philadelphia 76ers, the Toronto Raptors. They lost by 13 to the Indiana Pacers. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, these are teams that the Milwaukee Bucks should beat so they can improve their chances in a watered down Eastern Conference. Here's another part. He keeps talking about age and the youth of this team. It's all smoke and mirrors. This is the Milwaukee Bucks' roster. Eric Bledsoe is like 28. John Henson is 27. Giannis is 25. Yeah, like they're starters. Nobody is 25. Nobody is less than 25 years of age with their starting five. You want to go to their bench? Okay, like Brogdon is young. Sean Maker, we still believe is 20 years old. He could be 40. And then they've veteran players like Jason Terry.
Yeah, the rookie Jason Terry can.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, come on, man. Like, you keep saying that this team is so inexperienced. Maybe they're just inexperienced with whatever you're trying to run because you're not reaching them.
Breaking news. Jason Kidd got fired, but Jason Terry's going to be the interim head coach.
I agree. All right, so here's a few other coaching candidates. I'm trying to think of the other ones before I throw to these. There is David Fizdale, who LeBron James has been in favor of. There is, I believe, Monty Williams was mentioned by Sam Amick. Oh, sorry. Elton Brand said, I expect Jerry Stackhouse to get a professional coaching job or a top head college,
he's in the
coach
G
college
League
job.
right now, right?
Yeah, he's in the G League. He's with the, I'm blanking on it, but he's in the G League. And then Chris Mannix tweeted and credited Sam Amick. So there's Jerry Stackhouse via RaptorsRepublic.com. The next one shows Chris Mannix tweeting, as Sam Amick noted, I don't know if it's Amick or Amick, expected former Pelicans coach Monty Williams to emerge as the favorite. So what's going on here, man? I broke it all down. I'm trying to provide a few
the question is being then what? There was a statement and I didn't hear it completely because I was doing 5 things, but there was I guess it was a press report from the GM in Milwaukee, and he was explaining why they're making that move. And what I missed was what are their expectations now for the rest of this year? You know, so obviously
make the playoffs and win a first-round series. The roster is good enough.
Yeah, so then an interim head coach can do that better than the one that you.
Well, not an interim.
That's what they have
at this point.
Right.
You think they're not going to make a move like super quick?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering.
Yes.
So then the plan is to make a move with a new head coach. And again,
I'd say within a week they're going to have a new head coach.
I've never been a professional athlete. I've never coached anything more than children.
No, but you followed the game.
Right, but then, so I don't know what happens in the inner workings in a locker room when a new head coach comes in. Usually head coaches have their own staffs. So a new head coach is going to come and implement something, or maybe has a direction he wants to take, and he does it with an old staff?
Well, here's the thing. Sean Sweeney, we've gone over this many times, is a huge fan, or I'm sorry, Giannis is a huge fan of him. Giannis was also a huge fan of Jason Kidd, but look, if you're reaching one guy and you're not reaching the entire roster, it shows the influence that he has. On top of that, if they hire David Fizdale, you keep the assistants and you bring in the new head coach because you don't want to disrupt any sort of camaraderie that the assistants have because they communicate just as much.
Assistant coaches are very important.
Yes, they're very important. So what I think will happen is they're going to bring in one of like those 3 or 4 guys that I mentioned.
Why is it those guys are more suited for being just a head coach with an existing staff versus someone else? You know, why can't you? I'm trying to think of a random head coach that maybe only needs his own staff. You know, Mark Jackson. Not that he's trying to get a job, but you would think a guy like that would come in. Is that one of the guys that needs his own staff?
Sure.
Why? What's the difference with this guy versus?
What's the difference between Jason Kidd and another guy coming in?
No. One of these other coaches. You just like 3 or 4 coaches that you felt could come in and keep the same staff. I think you were differentiating between them and other head coaches that would not be able to come in and keep this staff.
Do you think that those head coaches need to bring in their own staff in order to feel comfortable?
That was actually my question. That was why I prefaced it with, I don't know how inner workings of recreating a whole NBA coaching staff goes, but I feel like this will be hard to do.
I'm going to be extreme. You have Giannis Antetokounmpo, all right? You have a guy who is a generational player. You have a really good point guard in Eric Bledsoe. You got a guy who's a rookie of the year on the bench in Malcolm Brogdon. Who knows what Thon Maker's going to be, but Jabari Parker's going to come back at some point. Is this really a difficult job? Is it really? Like they can't play defense, so Jason Kidd is focusing on offense? Like, come on, man, get your players to rebound a little bit more. Mix up the lineup so John Henson is getting a little more time because all he does is rebound and block shots. This is not difficult. Jason Kidd just didn't know how to execute it with a generational player like Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Why?
And he's in the Eastern Conference. These are games that you need to win.
What was Jason Kidd not doing? What was he not? How was he not connecting? Apparently he connected with Giannis because they had a text message.
Which, by the way, I still think like, I'm a little iffy on. Because you know what this does? If we start talking about it, we're like, oh, Giannis is such a great guy. Like, I'm not saying that he's a bad guy. I'm just saying I'm not believing everything that I'm seeing.
That conversation?
Yeah, I think Jason Kidd tried to make Giannis look really, really good. My opinion.
I mean,
where do you guys stand? Thoughts, comment section below. Subscribe to 2x2 Sports because it's cool.